I got a Bodytech Power Worker, which is basically a rip-off of a Bullworker, and I was pleasantly surprised to find that you can simulate a lot of archery style things with it. So I'm going to do a little video on what they can be used for in terms of both conventional archery and crossbow style archery, sort of for building muscles. And because I get asked quite a bit in like comments, you know, people asking will I be able to cock a certain strength crossbow, or will, you know, how can I build up the muscles to cock a crossbow. And actually I think out of everything I've found so far, this is probably the best thing, because you can measure how much you're currently sort of lifting or pulling, and then you can obviously use it a couple of times a week to build up the required muscles. So let's have a look. So firstly, let's use it like a conventional bow. What you've got here is these slide down with it to tell you what you're currently lifting, and each of these represents poundages, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 to 100 pounds, and they go a bit further, so it's about 110 pounds or so this will actually go to. Now I take all these readings with a pinch of salt, because with a lot of these sort of assisted sort of exercise tools, they seem to always be a bit off on what you're actually doing to what, you know, like scales can often be. So for a conventional bow type thing, you'd obviously hold it out with whatever hand like that, and with whatever hand you're drawing back, then release it, and that's giving me a reading of about just over 90 on that one, just over 80 on that one, so I'm guessing somewhere around 90 pounds draw, give or take. Obviously that'd be quite hard to keep that going, and with this it's a bit easier than a normal bow because you're essentially pushing away with this hand. I mean, if I try with one hand, it's a lot more difficult, which is probably giving you a more accurate reading than what a bow would be, and that's somewhere between, because I was blocking the thing with that one, between 30 and 70 pounds of draw, so we could call that 50 maybe pounds draw, which is probably a better reading. But obviously using this you could be building up the muscles for cocking a conventional bow. Well, not cocking, but using a conventional recurve bow or a compound bow. Now for the crossbow part. If I put that on the ground here and slide it under my shoe, we have got it pretty much how we would if we were cocking a crossbow. Now get my hands on there, stand up and pull it, hold it like that for a minute, and that's on the full 110 pounds this will go to. Do it again. So that's just like cocking a crossbow. So obviously you can do that repeatedly to build up the muscles that you would want to do for cocking a 150, 120 pound crossbow, what have you. And I mean, this can be used for more things than that, but I'll probably go into that a bit more on another video. But I'll just do one again with that facing you, so you can see I'm actually doing the full manoeuvre. But that is on the 110 pound mark really. So yeah, it's a good tool. As I said, take it with a bit of pinch of salt, because with these things they tend to actually be easier than what it would be with a real thing, but obviously it's going to be building the muscles you'd want to use when using a bow or whatever. So I think these are about 40 quid. I mean, I think the real Bullworkers cost a bit more, but essentially the same thing. But it's quite a good exercise tool for actual archery use, so bear that in mind.